this video, I'm going to show you how to generate high intent life insurance leads that convert like crazy. Now, what do I mean when I say convert like crazy? Well, I mean basically generating leads that are so interested in what you're selling that they'll actually go and comment on the ads you're running, saying things like need more info, very interested, information, please and thank you, so on and so forth. These are ads that we've run using the method I'm going to show you guys in this video, where people were literally commenting on the ad, asking us to sell them insurance. Just insane. What I also mean is people that not only comment on the ad and express interest, but actually move forward and purchase a policy. Using the methods that I'm going to show you guys in this video, we were able to write $312,000 in approved annual premium in just 6 months using this system. As you can see right here, this is $312,000 in approved annual premium. But we're not the only ones. Other agents using these same principles I'm going to teach you guys for generating high intent leads have also seen massive success. So this has Ben wrote $42,000 in 1 month as a brand new agent using self-generated leads that were generated with these methods I'm going to show you guys. Or Nate, who wrote $14,000 on just $1,000 in lead spend, which, in case you can't do math, that's a 14x return on his investment, right? Or Johnny, who you guys may have seen on YouTube, he wrote $20,000 in annual premium on just $1,500 spent on leads, which is absolutely insane. Or Eris and Eddie, who I actually just recently had a phone call with them. We were working with them about 2 years ago, set this whole system up for them, put everything in place. And about 2 years later, I just had a phone call with them. They're still writing $1,000 per day in annual premium, working only 3 hours a day. So they literally work 3 hours a day and they're still consistently writing $25K to $30K every single month, which blew my mind. I haven't seen somebody work that little and make that much. Pretty cool stuff. Here's just some screenshots of sales that were made from appointments that these prospects booked themselves. This is just kind of like to show you guys, hey, what I'm about to teach you guys works. Cool. So let's talk about this. When it comes to creating high quality leads, there's 3 rules that you need to know, right? There's 3 rules to high intent leads, and I'm going to cover all of those with you guys in this video. So let's go through and start with rule number 1. So the first rule when it comes to creating high intent leads and leads that convert like crazy is thou shalt understand the 2 types of purchases. So what does that actually mean? Well, basically, you need to understand that there are 2 main types of purchases that people make, right? We have luxury products, and then we have pain products, right? So an example of a luxury product, these are things that people want, right? Like you might want the new iPhone. You might want a bigger house. You might want a 5-star meal, right? They're luxuries. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's like Gucci or Louis Vuitton. These are just things that they would be nice to have, right? A luxury purchase is something that would be nice to have. Like, for example, I just bought these like comfortable flip-flop slipper looking things. I'll just show you guys to walk around my house, right? So I have like this, it's called a pillow slide, super comfortable. I can walk around the house with it. My feet don't get cold. And I had a pair of these and I was like, you know what? I'm going to the gym. I sit in the sauna. I was walking in the sauna with my socks. I was like, okay, it would be good if I just had the same pair of shoes and I had one pair that I wear outside and then one pair that I wear in the house so that I don't track germs into my house, right? Maybe that's a little weird, but that was kind of my thought process. Well, that's not something that I need, but it's a luxury. It would be nice to have 2 pairs of the same little like slides so that I can wear one outside and one inside. That's an example of a luxury. I didn't actually need it, but I wanted it, and it was like $20 for another pair, so obviously I bought the extra pair of shoes. An example of a pain product would be like a need, right? So if I don't buy any water for like 2 weeks, and I'm just drinking like water out of the tap, at a certain point, I'm probably gonna get sick because like tap water is disgusting. In case you guys haven't realized, the chemicals they put in that stuff is insane. So at a certain point, I would need to go out and buy more water. Or, let's say I didn't even have tap water. I just stopped buying water. At a certain point, I would be in so much pain that I would need to go buy water, right? That's an example of a need. Another example would be like, hey, my back really hurts, so I need to go get back surgery so that I'm not constantly in pain. When somebody is in pain, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, they will do anything to resolve that pain. So when it comes to generating leads and people that are like hair on fire, ready to buy, what do you guys think are going to be easier to sell to? People that life insurance would be nice to have, or people that life insurance is I need this right now? Obviously, it's going to be people that are in pain, right? So let's kind of dive deeper into that. Yeah. So whenever you're selling, you want to find people that are in pain, because pain products equals money. If it's a want, they might buy. If it's a pain, it's just a matter of when they buy and can you get the deal done. So that's basically that concept, right? So how do you find the pain? Well, first of all, you have to figure out who are you targeting. So if I'm trying to get leads for final expense versus using like the niche method, for example, which is what we help all of our clients with, that's going to be a different way of advertising, right? Because if I'm doing the niche method, I'm probably targeting like truckers or parents or teachers or nurses or maybe small business owners, something like that. I'm going to be hitting them with a specific message that's tailored towards their needs. Whereas if I'm advertising towards final expense, I need to craft a message around like a senior in America. What are their problems? What are their needs? So first and foremost, you have to know who you're targeting. Then you're going to go and figure out, okay, what are their problems? What keeps them up at night, right? So if you've ever been like laying in bed and you're trying to close your eyes, but there's that just one like creeping thought that you can't get out of your head, and it just toys with you for maybe 30, 40 minutes before you fall asleep. That's what you're looking for in your prospect. So we need to find what is that thing that's just like keeping them up. It's just bugging them, just gnawing away at their thoughts. And then what are their deepest, darkest fears? What are they most afraid of? What would be the worst possible thing that can happen? And in these questions is where you'll find pain. So let's look at an example, right? Let's say I'm targeting nurses. I'm doing like the niche method or something. So I'm targeting nurses. Well, I know that nurses every single day, just by a factor of them being a nurse, they're going to be constantly seeing sickness and death every day. They're going in and out of the hospital. They're dealing with sick patients. They're dealing with patients that just got into an accident. Like there's all of these different things that they're seeing that are just constantly weighing on their mind. So when they go to bed, they're thinking about, wow, like this stuff happens all the time. Like people get sick, people die, people get cancer. Like this could happen to anybody at any point in time. It's just a matter of time if it's going to be you. So that's kind of like the mindset they have just because of what they see all day long. So the next logical thought of that is like, okay, well, if I have kids, what will happen to my kids and how will they be able to survive if I get sick or if I die or if I can't work and can't make an income? Like what's going to happen to my kids? Who will take care of them? And then another example is like, if they get sick and can't work, now there's no income. There's no way that they can take care of their family. Or let's say maybe they have life insurance through work, but what happens if they lose their job? Then they wouldn't have any life insurance because it would be gone. If it's through work and they don't have a job, they no longer have it through work because they don't have a job, obviously, right? So we're going to use that to basically craft our message. So I'll more on that in just a moment, but first let's go into rule number 2. So rule number 2 is thou shalt not try to create desire, only channel existing desires and needs. So what the hell does that mean? Well, basically there's a quote from a great advertiser named Eugene Schwartz. He wrote a book called Breakthrough Advertising, and he's like one of the, fathers of advertising, I guess you could say, right? He's one of the all-time greats. He's basically the GOAT. Like every single person that's big in advertising and marketing and all this stuff, they reference and just defer to Eugene Schwartz. He's like the OG, basically. So here's what he said. Let me move my face, make it a little smaller. So copy, or anytime this says copy, you can just sub out marketing or lead gen or advertising or sales, whatever. Same deal. Persuasion, right? When you're trying to persuade people. So copy cannot create desire for a product. It can only take the hopes, dreams, fears, and desires that already exist in the hearts of millions of people and focus those already existing desires onto a particular product. Can't speak. This is the copywriter's task, not to create this mass desire, but to channel and direct it. So what does that mean? Well, let me give you guys an example. So we're going to stick with our nurse example. For whatever reason, I really like the example of nurses. If you think about who a nurse is, oftentimes they're women and oftentimes they have kids, right? Bear with me. So if a nurse has kids, she probably loves her kids, right? This is a heart. Yeah. So she probably loves her kids. This is her, like, these are already thoughts. She already has so many thoughts, hopes, desires, like, towards her kids, right? She loves them. She wants the best for them. Maybe she has fears that are like directed toward kids. Like she's scared of, leaving them in a bad situation. What if something happens to them? There's all this emotion that's already like directed towards her kids. This mass desire that's just getting pointed in this direction, right? So if I want to sell a nurse life insurance or generate a lead for a nurse who wants life insurance, I'm going to talk about her kids and protecting her family, right? This sounds so simple. Not like, for example, I'm not going to try to sell life insurance as a way for her to save a bunch of money so that she can retire tax-free and then buy a Lambo. Like, that's not channeling existing desire. That's trying to create a desire that's not there. Like this nurse, as you guys can see, this red arrow is like desire and these thoughts she's having. She's not even thinking about a Lambo. Like, no, she doesn't care about a Lamborghini. She cares about her kids. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to make all of my marketing around how the life insurance policy protects her kids, benefits her kids, and avoids her biggest fears, right? I'm not going to try to make the life insurance policy the way that she gets a Lambo, right? Kind of a dumb example, but hopefully you guys get the point. Again, like, just to reiterate, I'm channeling her desire as to what she's already thinking about and already has all these thoughts and emotions. I'm not trying to create desire towards something different. The Lambo is just an example. Another example, if I'm selling to truckers, right? We're using the niche method here. These people are on the road all the time. They're seeing car accidents. They hear about people that die in car accidents. What am I going to do when I create an ad or try to sell life insurance to truckers? Well, I'm going to be talking about car accidents. I'm not going to try to, like, if a trucker is not worried about getting sick with like cancer, I'm not going to like talk about how this is going to protect him if he gets cancer. If he's already thinking about an accident, I'm going to talk about how this will cover him if he gets in an accident and, kind of pay, like you could use the living benefits example if you're selling like term or IUL, how he can use the living benefits in his policies to pay his bill. So you're just changing the messaging based on what your particular market needs and wants, right? So we're channeling the desire that already exists. We're not trying to create new desire. Cool. That's rule number 2. Now, again, I'm going to show you guys how that kind of links in when I show you guys some video examples. But now let's talk about the third rule of high intent leads. Now, the third rule is one I see so many people get wrong, is thou shalt not mislead in the ad. Be very direct on who thou wishes to attract. So let me show you guys what this means. So here are 2 examples of ads. Now, this one on the left is from a page called Senior Benefit Programs. So I'm just going to sidetrack for a second. Whenever people talk about like low quality leads, they're usually talking about either people that don't actually know what it's about or people that are just like really, really broke and unqualified, right? Balloons. That's what people mean when they say bad leads, right? So if we want to avoid getting broke and unqualified people, and we want to avoid getting people that are under the impression we're selling something we're not, we want to be very direct in our advertising and very direct in our messaging. And we don't want to mislead. Again, thou shalt not mislead in the ad. If we're using a page name like Senior Benefit Programs, we're going to get people that think it is a benefit program. Duh, right? Which is not what we want if we want quality leads. Let's read this copy. Last warning, if you did not get your $25,000 funeral benefit, again, we're making it sound like it's free, pay close attention because you might miss out on one of the biggest final expense benefits of the year. Seniors across America are getting a once-in-a-lifetime chance to get up to $25,000 to pay for the cost of their funeral. Now, I will say, there is actually something this ad does really well. They have a very clear call out, right? In your advertising, it's really important and good to have like a call out, because the way that Facebook works nowadays is like their AI is so good that if you just say who you want to speak to in the ad, it's going to go and find those people. So this one is actually pretty good at that. It's the only thing this ad's doing well. The rest of it is very misleading. But they say attention residents on Social Security. So they're going to get people on Social Security, which if that's what they want, that's what they're going to get. And then here you have state approves $35,000 cash fund to pay 100% of funeral expenses. So obviously, when somebody sees this ad, it's very misleading. You're going to get a bunch of people that think it's free and aren't actually interested in life insurance, right? And here's another example. This is a very simple, basic ad, but this is a good example to kind of show you guys like how this works. Attention nurses. Who do you think is going to click on this ad? Duh, nurses. Every 20 minutes, a child loses a parent they rely on. We're tapping into that existing desire. They are parents, their kids rely on them, they want to protect your family. You can protect your family by getting a life insurance policy. I'm tying getting a life insurance policy to protecting their family. So I'm channeling the existing desire. Get a life insurance policy to protect your family. Simple. Click learn more to get a quote in just 5 minutes. So again, I have the call out. It's very direct. There's no misleading. I'm not saying there's a new state approved, life insurance benefit for nurses who can get free life insurance because the government cares so much about nurses. No, I'm just saying here is what we have, right? Every 20 minutes, here's a problem. Every 20 minutes, a child loses a parent they rely on. You can protect your kids by getting a life insurance policy. Here's how to do it. Click learn more to get a quote. That's basically what I mean when I say be very direct, call out who you want to speak to, and don't mislead. Cool. So now let me show you guys some variations, some different examples of what this actually looks like in practice. All right, now real quick before I play these videos, what I want you guys to look for is the 3 things that we just talked about, right? The 3 rules. Let me go back to it. Thou shalt understand the 2 types of purchases, pain and luxury. Don't try to create desire, only channel existing desires and needs. Rule number 2. And the third one is don't mislead in the ad, be very direct on who you wish to attract. So now that we understand that, let's play one of these ads.
If you're a nurse or healthcare worker, this could be the most important video you ever watch.
Okay, so notice the first thing you see when you go on this ad, are you a nurse? We're going to get nurses, right? And then we said,
If you're a nurse or healthcare worker, this could be the most important video you ever watch.
If you're a nurse or healthcare worker, this could be the most important video you ever watch. So it's a very clear, direct angle. We're going to attract nurses. So let's listen on more.
You see, I've been a nurse for 22 years, and here's the thing. Most nurses get life and health insurance through their hospital, but there's something that you probably don't know that could cost you and your family tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Okay, so this is very important. Notice, guys, what we just said there, that could cost you and your family tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's a reason we didn't say cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's cost you and your family. That is, again, who they care about, talk about channeling the existing desire.
They don't tell you this, but your life insurance only covers you while you're working. Meaning, if you get in a car wreck like one of my friends did and can no longer work, you lose your policy, gone. Or if you decide that with all the craziness going on, you want to pursue a different career, you're
right? With all the craziness going on, the pandemic, this, the craziness, whatever. People always think that there's some kind of craziness more than there usually is. I could go on a whole side tangent about this, but the world's always been crazy, but people always just think we're in the craziest times ever. It's always been crazy, but that's the way people think, right? We're channeling the existing fears, thoughts, desires.
Policy gone. Even if you stay at the hospital until you retire, once you relieve, you lose your life insurance and have to get another policy at a ridiculous rate because you're older. So here's what myself and thousands of other nurses and healthcare providers have done to protect themselves and their families. There's a new program allowing healthcare workers to get up to $1 million in coverage for their families for less than the price of a coffee per day.
Right? So notice here, guys, a lot of people will say you can get life insurance for a penny a day or something stupid like that. Intentionally in this ad, we said for less than the price of a coffee per day. But think about how much does a coffee actually cost? $3 or $4. So 3 or 4 times 30, right? Realistically 3 to 5. So 3 to 5 times 30. We're already setting people up, like pre-framing them with the idea that they're going to spend between $90 and $150, like just on the entry amount of life insurance. Less than the price of a coffee per day, $3 to $5 a day. That's 90 to 150 bucks. We're not misleading people. We're being very direct.
That way, if you get chronically ill and disabled in an accident and can't work, you still have coverage in place for your family. All you need to do to see if you qualify is click Learn More down below. You'll fill out a 20-second survey.
I think this is before we fixed some of these spelling errors, because I saw like 1 million without the comma and 20-second. There's an updated version, but this is just the one on the slides.
Someone from our team will reach out to you to help you find the best plan for your family.
Cool. So that is one iteration, one example. Now, what we basically do is we'll go in and we'll just have different hooks, because like the most important part of your ad is the hook. So let's look at another example here.
Nurses and healthcare workers who only have life insurance through work may be making the biggest mistake of their lives.
Right? You only have life insurance through work. You may be making the biggest mistake of your life. Right? Like they have most nurses and healthcare workers, they may have some insurance through work, but they see this, it's like, oh my God, I might be making the biggest mistake of my life.
You see, I've been a nurse for 22 years.
I've been a nurse for 22 years, and here's the thing. Most nurses get life and health insurance through their hospital, but there's something you probably don't know that could cost you and your family tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And then we go into it. So it's the same kind of thing. We're just testing these different hooks, different iterations. And like, hopefully as I went through that video, you guys could see all of those 3 rules being incorporated into the video. Let me show you guys a third version of the hook.
Nurses, if you don't do this, your kids could lose the house.
Right? Nurses, if you don't do this, your kids could lose the house. That's about as direct towards their fear or pain point we could possibly get. They have a house, their kids are going to be homeless if they die without life insurance, because then their kids would have no money, right? So it's like literally playing to the deepest, darkest fear of a parent. Your kids will have nowhere to go. They'll be homeless. There's another one I think we have where it's like nurses with kids under 20. This is the most important video you ever watch. So we're just very direct in calling people out. And then all of our scripts, we hammer in on these pain points, right? So you guys may be wondering, like, cool, what are these videos? How do you guys make them? And how can I actually do something like this for myself so that I can get these high quality leads like these other agents are seeing? Well, basically all of these ads, like correct, we make them, we edit them, we hire the actors, all that stuff. And basically we let our clients, we license these ads to our clients. We run all of the ads for them. You're able to generate these high quality, high intent leads, and we do all of the marketing for you. So again, we'll make these ads, we'll put this all together. We already have winning ads that we'll just run on your account, so you can get these winning high quality leads as well. And basically we do all of the marketing. All you have to do is focus on closing. If you guys want to learn more about, that service, if you'd be a good fit for it, I'm going to put a link down below in the description. And if you guys want to learn how to set up and actually run your own Facebook ads, I'm also going to include a link to a video right here that you guys can watch. It is a full, I think it's like a 40-minute tutorial that breaks down step by step exactly how to launch and run your own Facebook ad. So if you want us to do everything for you, click the link down below in the description. If you want to see how to do it yourself, I'm also going to include a video that you guys can click right there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.